Hello everyone, कसे आहात सगळे? This video is going to be not very emotional, but something which is very heart touching on my end because this is how my career has changed, or you can say has given a very different turn to my life. So let's get started. Sports is close to everyone. It is in the form of cricket, football, any sport, be it a mind game or be it a physical game. It is always something which keeps you connected to the society, and of course, that was the same situation to me. I used to love sports since I was in school. I was not that great in academics, but yes, sports was something which used to keep me going all the time. Third, yes, that's how I found badminton, and I started playing badminton after 10th, which was a little later to usually what people start pursuing a sport as a career. So they start usually around 7th or 8th grade, where you usually get to be faster and quicker before everyone gets inside the sport. After I uh, completed my studies, I started pursuing badminton professionally. I told my parents that I love this sport and I want to make sure that I do something out here. I want to represent my country out, and they were always supportive to me. They made sure that each and everything which I want was given to me. Right now, I am a national badminton player. I have played over 8 to 9 national tournaments and various state tournaments in my past 8 years of badminton, and I've been at a level where only professionals can compete. Let's talk about the thing which we are here to discuss for now. So in 2022, um, I was at my peak of badminton where I was like, okay, I'll be making sure that I'm getting a title out. So I'm going to win. Asha level varti hoto me, and then afterwards, I was at my peak when it came to fitness. I was at my peak when it came to stamina. Everything was at par, like top notch. But I don't know, something went off. Doctors say it is luck. I really didn't think it was luck though. But yes, there were several things which happened, and I have thought about it a lot of times because that has changed my life. So in 2022, in February, there was a tournament where I was playing with my friend, which was just a normal tournament, and then tikde zaun, I actually landed very badly when I took a jump, and I fell off. So I fell off. I was like, what happened? Because it felt like something snapped, but it was not a snap which is like a bone snap. So I was very, it was pitch black in my head, what is happening, and I was not able to walk also. After this, I was took to the hospital, and then they made it clear that it was a ACL surgery. At that time, as the doctor mentioned to me, it was going to take 6 months for me to recover. Okay, so let's discuss what is a ACL surgery. So ACL means acute ligament tear, and what it actually means is, instead of your bone getting snapped, the muscles around which are there, which are holding your bones, get snapped instead. So there are two types of ACL tears with the basics included. First is a partial tear and one is a complete tear. So in a partial tear, usually what happens ki, like, it is still there, but you can walk, you can do many things, but at the same time it is something which is going to aggravate. So people usually take good amount of rest, good physio and everything, and it is sorted. What happened with me was a complete ligament tear. So for example, if the bone is completely broken, you have to make sure that you do an operation. So the same case in the muscle tear, which is a complete muscle tear. So I had to make sure that I had to do an operation. This was done by Dr. Alok Pandey, who lives in my building only, and what he mentioned to me was, take 6 months of break, make sure you're doing proper physio, and you'll be getting back on the court as soon as possible. And listening to this, I was a little happy about it, that okay, I'll be making sure that I'm pushing myself again in the court. But at the same time, there was a constant fear in my head, ki what if it happens again? And yes, that was always there. But yes, I took like a ridiculous amount of physio. I made sure I was pushing myself. It was something which I did like the best for myself in that way. I gave my 150% out. Physio झालं, and then afterwards I started getting back on court with some small basic movements. Everything was fine. The only problem was there कि like this right leg which is there was very huge compared to the other leg which was operated, was like very skinny. So I had to make sure that the weight is evenly distributed. So of course weight training was happening that time and everything was going along very smoothly. And I had started playing badminton a little after 6 months and it was going well. And after this, the second tragic accident happened with me, which was in November 2022. So at that time, it was a state tournament called as Vanita Samaj, and Teva, I was well prepared and I was happily moving around the court very smoothly. Not very smoothly, but I knew that it was something which was smooth like butter for me. I was moving around the court nicely. Not the best, but I was moving. So at that time, I have no clue how it happened. So I played for like 2-3 points only in a match. And then afterwards, I went for a backhand smash. I twisted myself. I went to play like this and twisted, and I fell off the ground directly. And my parents were also there to watch the match because that was the first tournament I was going to play after the whole surgery, and they were excited to see how I am playing. They were also there, and this happened, and I was like, the first thing which happened in my mind was, is it the same leg? So I literally woke up, like got down, woke up directly and saw, but I was like, ये तो दूसरा leg है, and I was like, oof. And that was some other level hit to me. And then after that has been something which made me sure that I have to take the decisions correctly in order to me maintaining my personal life, as well as me making sure that I'm going to make a career out of something, or any personal life decisions which are going to make me evolve into a better person. So all these decisions were actually taken after this thing. I don't know if you all are able to see, but this is the first leg. I have a feeling that the marks will be visible here, as well as the second leg here. The marks are prominently visible on this leg. Plus, I have shedded a lot of muscle here. Like shedded as in it has gone. But yes, it has gotten better since the time. It has been 2 years now. And yes, I will tell you my conclusion of what actually happened in my mind, like what I think what happened exactly. I will discuss it because this is something which will be helping athletes which are coming into the background of badminton, and at the same time they want to make sure that they have a lean body, as well as something which is going to help them look a little more muscular, a little more toned. So these all things are something which I have thought about it, and yes, I'll be sharing it. I'll tell you first what doctor said. The doctor said was ACL is something which is literally out of luck, and for me, I really thought about it, and I didn't feel like luck is the only thing which comes here. Of course, luck, matlab, it's something which should never happen to someone, and yes, so both of the times the doctor said ki it was just out of luck. There is nothing which you could have done to make it better. It was just clearly luck. And let's talk about what I thought. So for me, I was a badminton athlete, and side by side I had and I have an obsession of lifting as well as being in shape throughout, as I am a content creator on Instagram. So as badminton, you playing one more sport is going to make you do two different goals at the same time. The giving gym and badminton as two priorities, uh, not I, you cannot set one similar goal for both the places to achieve both the goals at the same time. So let's discuss about it. Gym is where if you want to get shredded, you have to make sure that you are eating in less calories, or you are eating in maintenance, or you are making sure that you are below your maintenance. That means if your calories to be eaten are 1000, you have to make sure that even after playing and burning, your total calories to be had in the day should be 900 or 800, so that you are in a deficit, and this is how you get shredded. On the other side, badminton madhe, you have to make sure that you are eating carbs, you are loading up yourself with carbs, good amount of protein, and at the same time you have to make sure that you deliver, you win the game. So for that you have to make sure that you have some good power. So for all of these things you have to make sure that you are on a little surplus. So that was something which was not balancing on both the sides, and yes, I have a feeling that this was the reason why it happened, because I on the other side was on a calorie deficit, but I was making sure I was eating around 120 grams of protein a day, which is like 2x of my body weight. And yes, that I was making sure everything was possible, but again, being on a deficit and pushing yourself at the peak or more than like that is going to lead you to injuries. And this was the whole thing which I had in my head. Also, the second injury which happened was more of because I guess it was just a less amount of time for me to recover, and secondly, it was just this leg was just a little weaker compared to this. So I always used to limp a little bit while playing also. So while playing, I have a feeling I have to keep a lot of load on this. So always I jump, this is going to be the leg. Right now this is not the case, as I make sure both of the legs are utilized currently. But तेव्हा तसं झालेलं, and that was the second reason why I twisted my other leg and got into the second surgery of ACL. So this was my story, and now let's talk about how you should be able to tackle this situation, because being a sports person, injuries are something which are going to get you one step ahead of the people who are going to play against you. Because if you are going to take a 1 month break, 1 year break, at the same time the person who is not going to take the 1 year break is going to grow ahead 1 year. So this is how usually people grow, and in the end it is a decision from your side whether you have to continue, you have to push yourself, what are the possibilities of or risk or you getting injured again. There are many possibilities, so you have to make sure you're always fit, your diet is up to the point, you have to make sure that your goal is oriented towards a sport if you are pursuing it. My point of view towards all these things were, you have to make sure that you eat in a calorie surplus. If you are playing badminton, even if you are eating in calorie surplus, it is just going to give you gains. At the same time, you will be able to do the muscles will look big. The main thing is that it will look big, but it won't look shredded, and that's okay. I mean, unless you are winning titles, that's what matters. Then secondly, you have to make sure that recovery is there. You have to make sure stretches are proper, because once you start doing muscle training or gym training, your muscles usually tend to become a little stiff. So in order to not let that happen, you have to make sure that you are doing asanas, you are doing yogas, you are doing stretching, you are doing recovery of every sort, to make sure that you are moving on the court as smooth as a normal person could. Thirdly, and this is something which is most important, is to focus on your academics, that is studies, as well as with playing of badminton, because so this is a sport which has a limited span. like you will be retiring at a very early stage, and of course something like this should not happen to anyone. But at the same time, if something like this happens and if you don't have any backup with you, it is just going to be a mental breakdown to you. And trust me, it is not nice. It is not nice. You have to make sure that you are going to sustain in your life. You are going to make sure that you make a career out of it, out of your studies or badminton or anything in general. So academics is something which you have to make sure you do side by side. You should not leave studies. So this is something which is the major suggestion from my side. Ki always make sure that you are studying side by side. Even if you are doing something related to sports, that's okay. Of course, sports is something which is going to be with you for life if you keep on studying with that. Right now I am a nutritionist, and being a nutritionist, I'm always connected to sports. I'm always connected to athletes, so it always makes me feel that yes, I'm still connected to the sport and I can still play. But at the same time, me playing it as a hobby is something which I would love to do rather than going professionally right now, because I know like right now it has been 2 years, and in these 2 years there are people who have grown 2 years more than me. And focusing on the age which I am right now, I need to focus on something which is going to be career oriented, something which is going to give me money out of it. And this is something which is going to help me sustain my life. This is the main advice. And to all the people who are watching me who are related to any kind of sport or who love playing badminton, or someone who is going to pursue badminton and right now who are playing badminton professionally, uh, this is something which has happened to me. And yes, make sure that you are taking a lesson out of it and stay safe and play, kill, do everything. Not the kill in person, kill in the court, and then smash and finish the game, win the game. Ha, babre. Yes. So that's it for the video. Make sure you're liking this, subscribe, comment, do everything. Make sure this reel is out to every sports person who wants to hear this. And